this morning, where we will be taking you through stories making headlines in the national dailies. I am Olasumbo Yusuf, and we will be starting from the Punch newspaper.
Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us again. My name is GBOLABO&SUMBO, and of course, we have some papers up for review this morning. We'll be starting off with the Punch newspaper this morning.
On the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have Naira crumbles to 920 per dollar. Fuel marketers push for fresh price hike. With rider, fuel price can't remain 617 Naira, with Naira falling below 900 Naira per dollar. Ipman. Nigerians back subsidy removal. FG replies Obaseki. Labour wants NNPCL probe. Still from the Punch newspaper, ECOWAS military action won't yield positive result in Niger, Russian envoy. FG makes a 2 trillion naira taxes from Google, Facebook and foreign firms. This is according to reports. Still from the front page of the Punch newspaper, culture minister, still a core member, group alleges. FG faces heavy criticism over 4.1% unemployment data. From the Punch newspaper, still before moving to another newspaper this morning, we have family fought army silence on senators' aides allegedly killed by soldiers.
All right, to move over to the Nation newspaper this morning, there are also top stories here making the headlines. And the big story here says, Edu hyperinflation, low GDP per capita to end soon. And of course, more stories here on the Nation newspaper front page. I'm under pressure over Niger junta, says Tinubu. President graduated in 1979, Chicago Varsity replies to Chico. All right, we have more stories. 2 dead, 37 rescued in Abuja building collapse. Tribunal sacks Lagos LP rep. Jobs mentorship for youth coming. NURTW to partner Tinubu on economy. Foundation train youth on green skills. Animal diseases threats to food security health. And we have this one, expert invests in tech chips production for growth. Protest gang up against energy chief will fail. And more stories here on the Nation newspaper this morning. Lagos Council chief kicks off 145 million naira town hall project. And let's look at more stories. Ondo government overrules Akure monarch over market closure. And before we leave the Nation newspaper, a bit of the entertainment angle of the paper. Wizkid, it's difficult to describe my evolution as an artist. And in sport, Musa fails to defend 100-meter hurdles title in Budapest. And the last one here says, Okwara, Igbo must be agreeable residents in Lagos. And that's about it from the Nation.
Moving to the Guardian newspaper this morning, we have the headlines. With transparency, Tinubu's policies will reduce hardship, says NURTW president. 23,000 missing persons recorded in Northeast. Rights group create platform to curb religious conflicts. Diphtheria, death toll hits 100 in Kano, 26 in Bauchi. Still coming from the Guardian newspaper, group trains Northeast youths on first aid. Anambra implements a zero road charges for a broadband deployment. Still from the Guardian newspaper, Abia government loses 194 million naira to ghost fake security personnel yearly. NUJ hails Idris Aliyu's appointment as minister. From the Guardian still, number of abandoned poorly executed projects in Niger Delta unacceptable. Coup again. Tinubu sends Islamic leaders to Niger for dialogue. Finally, from the Guardian newspaper, Bayelsa Guba monarchs raise the alarm over planned attack on councils.
All right, now to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. There also top news here. Tinubu directs resolution of disagreement with UAE on Emirates airline visa issuance, and we have other stories. Niger coup. Tinubu sends Islamic leaders back to Niger for dialogue. Total spending on fuel subsidies gulped $7 trillion in 2022. That's according to International Monetary Fund. GBOLABO federal might won't work in Bayelsa. That's what jury is saying. All the latest updates here, right on the front page of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. UNICEF promoting exclusive breastfeeding for child survival beyond first 1,000 days of life. Widows, orphans of Plateau tax suffer neglect in IDP camps. And we also have this one, Quran burning, rage, ignorance, and prejudice beyond the hijrah of Prophet Muhammad III. And of course, we have more stories here on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Abuja collapse plaza, Wike orders arrest of landlord. GBOLABO, federal might. All right, we have that earlier. And of course, let's take a couple more before leaving for another paper this morning. And this is appearing to be from the entertainment side. BB Niger All Stars both in campaign. Fans react to kids' claim to give, all right, Cisse 120 million naira.
Moving to the Vanguard newspaper, 24 banks lose 9.75 billion naira in second quarter of 2023 as fraud rises 277%. Tinubu blames cleric error for discrepancies on Chicago varsity certificate. Niger crew are managing very serious situations. Tinubu. Still from the Vanguard newspaper, LP crisis, Abure Apapa clash over Imo appeal court ruling. Clark, Pandev, Inc. to Tinubu, don't scrap but accord special attention to PAP. Still from the Vanguard newspaper, we have Tinubu. Okay, read that earlier, and of course it came out in a couple of dailies this morning. Tinubu blames a clerical error for discrepancies on Chicago varsity certificate.
All right, we'll go on our first break this morning. We'll be back very shortly after this. Do stay with us.
FM 94.9.
130 successful Canadian visas and counting in 2023 alone. We are A3 Immigration, and we mean business. A3 Immigration Incorporation is a Canadian-based immigration corporation licensed to help individuals transform Canada into their home sweet home, just as we did for Shalewa.
Hi, my name is Shalewa. Thanks to A3 Immigration, Nova Scotia, Canada is my new home.
Congratulations. Me, this message, congratulations.
With Canada Regulatory Council membership number R707544, A3 Immigration has a wide variety of expertise in all areas related to Canadian immigration. Our sister company, Bigger International Consult, is also available for your work or study needs in the United Kingdom. To get started, call or chat 0913-660-1125, 0913-660-1125, or visit a3immigration.com. A3 Immigration, making Canada your new home.
This is what it sounds like when you relentlessly munch away at your snacks. Boring, dull, routine snacking. And this is what it sounds like when snacking is loud, proud, gooey, chewy, playful, joyful, and all-round fun. Because when joyless snacking attacks, we'll be there to fight back. Snack out loud with Fanta.
Well,
While everyone is saying things are getting more expensive, instead, whenever I buy, I get double the amount.
In this Niger, hey, please tell me how.
When you dial star 939 hash to activate and use your smart cash account today, enjoy double your talk time and enjoy 100% airtime bonus instantly whenever you recharge your Airtel line.
Oh, see what I've been missing.
Just dial star 939 hash to enjoy the best deals on Smart Cash, powered by Airtel.
Titi, I'm leaving now. Make sure you use this hypo bleach sachet to wash all the clothes, clean the bathroom, mop the floors, and
Mommy, one sachet for all this plenty work?
Yes, sir. Introducing the Hypo Bleach 200 ml bigger sachet. The bigger sachet you've been waiting for. Now you can do more disinfecting, whitening, and cleaning for just 100 naira.
Bigger 200 ml hypo sachet to do more housework.
Right. So guys, this is the plan. We go in at sunrise and we attack without mercy. Glow World shops won't see us coming. Taye, you are to make sure we get all the best phones, alright?
Yes, boss.
Lara, you have to make sure that we don't miss the 18GB bonus deals for 6 months.
Understood, sir.
Chigozie, your job is to draw up the payment plan. Codename, Pay Small Small. Chigozie, are you sleeping? Chigozie.
Relax. There's enough time for you to get your preferred smartphones and enjoy sweet deals at Glow World. Walk into any Glow World shop, your one-stop shop for devices and gadgets, and get 18GB bonus data when you buy your phone, which you can pay for at your convenience.
Glow Unlimited.
ṣé ìrìn àjò afẹ́lẹ́ fẹ́ rìn ní àbí tọrọ ajé lọ síbi yòówù káàkiri àgbáyé pẹ̀lú You Fit Fly ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé nípa ṣíṣe ètò ilé ìtura tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ àti bíbáni ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ọkọ̀ òfurufú lọ síbi kíbi tẹ́ bá ń lọ lágbàáyé You Fit Fly ló ṣe é gbọ́kànlé a ti ní ìrírí ọdúnmọ́dún nípa bíbáni ṣètò tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà àti ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé tí àwọn arìnrìn-àjò sì ń ṣe sàdánkátà sí wa tí ẹ̀yin nìkan ni ìdílé yín tàbí ọ̀pọ̀ èèyàn You Fit Fly ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ tí ìrìn-àjò yín yóò fi rọ̀ yín lọ́rùn ẹ pè wá sórí 0901 111 1190 0901 111 1190. ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa lórí www.youfitfly.com tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní block 8 plot 15 lópòpónà 7up Olúyọ̀lé main estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn Ọ̀yọ́ state. You Fit Fly ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ìrìnnà gba ilé ìtura káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn.
Cowbellpedia is back with more subjects and more entertainment, and up to 100 million naira worth of prizes, scholarships, and cowbell products. Introducing the new quiz master, Ebuka Obi Uchendu, and your host, the stunning Linda Ejiofor. Watch 14 weeks of pure genius on Africa Magic, NTA, and TVC. Cowbellpedia. So good, so smart.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back, and you're still on to Break It Down Papers Review here on 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're delving into the analysis proper this morning, and we have Professor GBOLABO joining us. My name is GBOLABO.
I am GBOLABO Yusuf. Good morning.
All right, we have Professor Oluwajedokun joining us this morning for the Papers Review. Good morning, Prof.
Top of the day to you.
All right, Prof, we'll start off with the Toby Amuson not being able to defend the 100-meter hurdle title. And I know that she's been in the news not at a point in time, not for the very good reasons. And now she had the opportunity to defend what appears to be a skeptical title at a point in time, although she was allowed to run this particular one. But what are the stakes here? She came sixth, and one would have expected that she could have done better from what she had as a record before.
I think when you go into a race, when you go into athletics, hurdles in particular, a mental exercise. In other words, you have to win it mentally before you actually win it on the tracks, as it were. And of course, you've already alluded to the fact that she's been distracted with this battle, the battle with the drug inspection agency of the athletics, and that has really distracted her for some time. I have no doubt that she will come back because she needs to come back and she needs to prove herself. But with athletes, sometimes it happens. You have a good day and you have a bad day. And I think once this is resolved, once she has more consistent practice, because the hurdles is not just about speed, it's about technique, it's about expertise. I'm sure she would get back. But it's a disappointing result.
Okay.
All right, Prof, good morning. Good to have you. And I will be starting from the educational sector this morning. ASU raises concern over non-release of lecturers' 8-month salaries. Now, what's your take as regards this? The union believes that the payment of the withheld salary will go a long way to show up, the morale of Nigerian university teachers. And taking a look at our educational sector, the state at which it is right now, should we still be talking about lecturers being owed 8 months salary, especially with the hike in price of fuel, food, and a couple of other things in the country today?
Well, first and foremost, we have to read what the law says. Is the government acting legally? Are they acting in accordance with the law of the land? And if you look at the relevant act, the Labour Act, you see that the government is entitled to withhold the salaries of striking workers. If you also look at the ILO convention all over, it is the same rule, it is the same law that applies. So there's nothing extraordinary in this. The only thing is that in the past, this government, or many governments, have not enforced it. It's always been there on the statute book, they have not enforced it. But this time, they decided to enforce it, and they started with ASU. So really, they are at the mercy of the government, because legally, the government stands on the right ground. They've gone to court, the industrial court, and even the industrial court is on the side of the government, that the government is entitled to apply the no work, no pay. So I think, other than pleading with the government, and that's if the government is going to hear their pleas, there's not much they can do because the law is not on their side. But if about the government, there is a political resolution and there's a legal resolution. The legal resolution is on the side of the government, but politically it may not be on the side of the government. And I agree that in order to enthuse the lecturers, in order to get the best out of them, you may decide, you understand, at this point in time, to pay them the 8-month salary and allow them, you understand, at least to have a second chance, if we may describe it as that.
All right, Prof, let's look at this one. Chicago State University responds to Atiku's request to release Tinubu's academic record. It appears this has been long overdue to actually have some sort of credibility when we talk about Tinubu's certificate coming from Chicago. And it's like a cliche in Nigeria. When you mention Chicago, you remember Tinubu. And it's always a case of he doesn't even have the certificate. Now, would we say that Atiku has helped to clear the air because he went to the school itself wanting to have the acceptance letter, attendance, and other related document of Tinubu's undergraduate days in the school, and the school replied and said that he's a graduate of the institution. Has this laid to rest all the uproar, all the controversy relating to his educational certificate from the Chicago University?
Well, I'm not sure that it's laid to rest, but I'm not sure there's much Atiku can do. If they say he's a graduate, then he's a graduate. I think there's some nitty-gritty, there's some things to do with, which Bola Tinubu it is. Is it when did he actually graduate? You understand? Who signed it? Which of the presidents signed the letter? Because there are two different certificates that appear to be in the public domain. But I think what is clear is that Chicago, as it's called, hasn't disowned Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And of course, the Chicago University has said that only if the court declares, only if the court rules that they should release the details of his results, will they proceed to do so. But they've said plainly that he is a graduate of that university. In fact, that he was one of their best graduates ever. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure this is going anywhere. From that point of view, it's not going anywhere. And even if it went anywhere, is it germane to the issue that was brought before the electoral tribunal? So those are the questions that have to be considered. But it is far from satisfactory, because you would expect that the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces would not even be fighting against the release of his certificate. Why would you be fighting against the release of your certificate? We know he's a graduate of the place, but what is the problem? What is being eaten in plain sight? That's my question.
All right, Prof. From the Vanguard newspaper, we have the headline: Clark, Pandef, INC to Tinubu, don't scrap but accord special attention to PAP. Now, according to this story, the Ijaw National Leader, Pa Edwin Clark, Interim Administrator, Presidential Amnesty Program, and a couple of others, many other prominent stakeholders from the region have encouraged President Bola Tinubu to give more attention to the Presidential Amnesty Program to sustain peace in the oil-rich Niger Delta. What's your take as regards this, Prof?
Well, I have actually interacted with many beneficiaries of that program. In fact, my current personal assistant where I work in the city university is a beneficiary of that program, comes from that program.
Okay.
So it's a program that has done much good, a program that has trained personnel, that has ensured that people in that area are empowered, are equipped, and of course are skilled. And therefore you must argue that many more people that would have been involved in bunkering, involved in involved in insurgency there, are now gainfully employed or are doing other things in other places. But you must ask the question, is this a program that is designed to go on forever and forever? Certainly not. I think until the issue, the inequity and inequalities there is addressed, then of course the program will come to its natural end. I don't think that end has come yet. I think there's still issues, there are structural issues, and I think it will take some time for the structural issues to be resolved. But certainly, this government must review it, must reevaluate it, and see how it can be better applied. Is there a better way they can apply the resources for the amnesty program? So it wouldn't just do to do the same old thing as before. It must be reevaluated. It must be made, the imperfections have to be dealt with. Because some of the questions that have arisen before is that some people are actually making money from it. In other words, they sell their spaces, you know, and some of them, even the stipend, have to pay it to their godfathers or those that enable them to get in the program. So I think all those areas, if they can be ironed out, then the program will be more effective, of course.
All right, let's go to the southeast now. And of course, Nnamdi Kanu is playing out again. Reps panel asked Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, and this has been the same pattern of demand from different strata of the society, especially coming from the southeast. And now we have the House of Representatives and the ad hoc committee set up to interface with security agencies to reduce kidnapping, assassinations, and banditry in and around Isukwato and Umunochi local councils of Abia State has called on President Bola Tinubu to release leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Now, is this going to be possible? Because we do know the stance of the former president, Buhari, saying he will never allow someone who has actually prompted what he called treasonable offenses in the country allowed to go scot-free. Now, this demand has been placed on another president, which is Tinubu. Do you see him releasing Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally here?
Well, first and foremost, there are two aspects to it. There's the legal aspect, and we know that, of course, the charges against him in the first instance were dismissed, but again, the government said they wanted to file new charges. I'm not abreast with whether those new charges have been sustained, but obviously that's what the government said they wanted to do, and that's the reason why the bail hasn't been granted, because they consider him to be a security risk. Legally, some would argue that as far as the government is concerned, you know, this man should be released on bail. They have nothing on him as of yet. He's not been convicted of any offense, and that legally they shouldn't be holding him, you know, from that point of view. The government's own position will be that this is a man that has been released on bail before, and when he was released on bail, he escaped, you know, that left the country. From that point of view, they would also argue that even though the charges against him were dismissed in the first instance, there are new charges which have been filed, and those charges are of such serious nature that, you know, this man has to be kept under lock and key. But you have to remember that people like Nelson Mandela, Kwame Nkrumah, and a lot of nationalist leaders were all under charges, or in fact, some of them were indeed in prison. And in order for the governments in those countries to reach a political settlement, what did they have to do? The people that attempt to be terrorists, the people that attempt to have been fighting against the state, they had to sit down with them at the negotiating table, and they had to negotiate with them in order for peace to reign. So I think the government has to think outside the box and respond to these demands and see if a political settlement, a political solution could be reached, so that the violence from the non-gun gunmen, as it's called, or from IPOB, as some people have suggested, is brought to a heel. They have to find a way to resolve it. I don't think legally you can resolve this matter. You need the political aspect to also to be brought into the fray.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. Lastly, from my end, before I let you go this morning, we have these reports. Nigerians stranded in UK, victims of a visa scam. Now, if you read that story, it's quite disturbing as the report reveals that the rising number of Nigerians are falling victim to a deceitful scheme that involves paying substantial amounts in naira for job opportunities that do not actually exist within the United Kingdom skilled worker visa system. And you know, a couple of reports also say that they pay as high as £10,000 to an agent for the skilled worker visa. What's your take as regards this? And of course, what does this stand as, you know, the Japa syndrome in Nigeria? What does this stand for Nigeria as a country?
Well, I think there's a popular wisdom in Nigeria that the streets of London are paved with gold. In fact, I wrote about it in my updated book recently, that of course the streets of London have never been paved with gold. But I think there was some suggestion that there was so much wealth there that when people come from Nigeria, from England rather to Nigeria, from the US to Nigeria, because many of them are on loans, because many of them do about 3-4 jobs, they come and they spend their money willy-nilly, and people think, oh, it must be a land that prospers so much. And of course, when you have the salaries and you convert them into from pounds to naira, people think, oh no, it must be gold dust raining there. They forget the fact that unlike Nigeria, many of that amount of money is taken up by taxes. But let's address the specific question that you raised. It is not that these jobs don't exist. It is that the nature of their visa ties them to a sponsor. And this sponsor has to be able to provide them the number of hours. So if they are not tied to a sponsor that has jobs available, because of the nature of their visa, they are stuck. So it's not as if the jobs, the cleaning jobs or the care jobs, healthcare jobs, and that most of them are chasing after, or most of them have been assigned to, don't exist. They exist. So the problem we have is that many people rush there. They go on sponsors that do not have the spaces or the hours, and then they end up, you know, with egg on their faces. So what is the solution there? I think if people are going to travel or Japa, they should do their research adequately. You understand? And they should have maybe 2 or 3 people that they consult here, abroad, and of course in Nigeria. And I think the second thing, of course, is they should not put their egg in one basket. Consider the kind of visa you need. Do you need the educational visa? Do you need the skills, special skills visa? Or what kind of visa do you need? And is it UK you should be going to, or is it Canada? So you need to make this assessment. But you also have to ask the question, if you have £10,000, would it not be better for you to set up a business in Nigeria rather than to invest it chasing after some job in the United Kingdom? That was just the question that I will raise. But many people will say the reason why they're going there is because of their children and they can get very good education there from that point of view. I would say people need to be careful. It's not all that is greener over there in England and Britain. Sometimes in Nigeria, it is even much more greener. So it's an unfortunate situation that people find themselves in that situation, but they need to do their research, and they must know that Japa is not the solution to poverty in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have to go on another break right about now. We'll be back very shortly.
FM 94.9.
While everyone is saying things are getting more expensive, instead, whenever I buy, I get double the amount.
In this Niger, hey, please tell me how.
When you dial *939# to activate and use your smart cash accounts today, enjoy double your talk time and enjoy 100% airtime bonus instantly whenever you recharge your INT'L line.
Oh, see what I've been missing.
Just dial *939# to enjoy the best deals on Smart Cash, powered by INT'L.
Oh, this is what it sounds like when you mindlessly munch away at your snacks. Boring, dull, routine snacking. And this is what it sounds like when snacking is loud, proud, gooey, chewy, playful, joyful, and all-round fun. Because when joyless snacking attacks, we'll be there to fight back. Snack out loud with Fanta.
Ó ga o, eléyìí tó jí wá láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù yìí, mo ti rò pé ṣe lòun fíláàṣì mi nígbà tí ìpè rẹ wọlé sórí aago.
Fíláàṣì rẹ kẹ̀, ọpọ́n tèmi ti sún o, lọ́tẹ̀ yìí èmi ni mo máa ṣàyè fún ẹ. Ó yá, lọ múra.
Dúró náà o, àbí gbẹ̀bù ti dé ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Zenith Better Life promo ti padà dé pẹ̀lú sáà kẹta, mo sì jẹ́ káàdì ẹ̀bùn oní £1,000 náírà.
bẹ́ẹ̀ gẹ́lẹ́ ni Zenith Bank ń pín ẹ̀bùn tó tó ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà àádọ́jọ náírà fún àwọn oníbàárà ogún ní ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì nínú Zenith Better Life promo ti sáà kẹta. Láti lè kópa rọra ṣí àkáǹtì Zenith Bank kí o sì fi ó kéré jù ẹgbẹ̀rún márùn-ún náírà sílẹ̀ sínú ẹ̀. Béèrè kí o sì gba káàdì Zenith Bank yálà aláfojúrí tàbí torí ayélujára. Lẹ́yìn náà dáńlóòdù kí o sì forúkọ sílẹ̀ lórí Zenith Bank app tàbí kó o forúkọ sílẹ̀ fún *966# easy banking. Ìpolongo yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2023 títí di ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2024. Àǹfààní yìí ṣí sílẹ̀ fún oníbàárà tuntun àti títẹ́lẹ̀. Ìgbésẹ̀ àti ìlànà wà o. Zenith Bank fún àǹfààní ara rẹ.
Titi, I'm leaving now. Make sure you use this hypo bleach sachet to wash all the clothes, clean the bathroom, mop the floors, and
Mommy, one sachet for all this plenty work?
Yes, sir. Introducing the Hypo Bleach 200 ml bigger sachet. The bigger sachet you've been waiting for. Now you can do more disinfecting, whitening, and cleaning for just 100 naira.
Bigger 200 ml hypo sachet to do more housework.
We are all gathered here today to witness the joining of all 32 of you in blissful matrimony to Glow MiFi and Router. Do you, Wi-Fi enabled devices, take this Glow MiFi and Router as your lawful data plug?
Yes, we do!
Do you, Glow MiFi and Router, promise to be there in good times and in Sakba?
Yes, we do!
Now you may stay connected.
Enjoy a connected life with Glow MiFi and Router. Get 60 gigabytes data bonus when you buy a Glow MiFi and 180 gigabytes data bonus when you buy a Glow Router. And connect up to 32 Wi-Fi enabled devices. Available at Glow World shops nationwide.
Glow Unlimited.
32 FM
94.9.
Welcome back. It is still Papers Review on 32 FM 94.9. Right now, we'll be opening the phone lines where you get to have the opportunity to have a say as regards some of the stories we are trailing for you this morning. 07055 949 0809 7000 949.
All right, we also have 080970949 for our international audience, plus 2349062,949. Do remember we're also live on Facebook and also on YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan. All right, hello, good morning. All right, the numbers again are 070550949 or 080970949. And for our international audience, plus 2349062,949. And also do remember we're still live on Facebook and also on YouTube, 32FM 949 Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Professor. And I want to talk about Mazio Nnamdi Kanu. The former president, the General Major General Muhammadu Buhari, told the British Prime Minister then, Boris Johnson, at the 26th Commonwealth Head of State meeting in Kigali, Rwanda, on 24th of June 2022, that Nnamdi Kanu is on trial because of uncomplimentary things he said against Nigeria and Putin Buhari while he was in Britain. But here Kanu was facing treasonable felony. And as a lawyer, sir, and you know that there must be physical acts of subversion before you prove treasonable felony. What a contradiction. The present president, they can release Nnamdi Kanu through the office of the Attorney General of the Federation by relying on that section 174, particularly subsection 3, for public interest and interest of justice. I'm John Newsom. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, and the numbers again are 070550949 or 080970949. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Kilebalabi. I just want to comment on the statement credited to Nyesom Wike, Minister of Federal Capital Territory, that ordered the arrest of the owner of the building that collapsed. This will serve as deterrent to others. Also, the engineer, the architect in those buildings should be arrested. Also, the federal government said it's going to shoulder the medical bill of those that were involved. In the same way, I commiserate with people of Nasarawa over the boat mishap that claimed the life of 12 people. On the issue of Chicago University certificate being validated by our president, Mr. President has come out to say that it was a classical error. It was not the circular that was manufactured from Moduwale. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
All right.
0705 5000 009 7000
All right, we still have Professor Lord Jedokun with us this morning. And quickly, Prof, I want us to also look at what is going on in the United States. Trump arrested in election case, mugshot released. And now it appears that it's a system that could try airing public officials, which has never happened in Nigeria. Like an ex-president going through all of this in Nigeria, we had a number of them with issues. Now, what is the example the United States is setting here? And of course, he's been accused of racketeering and conspiracy charges and released on $200,000 bond after having a historic mugshot taken. Now, what do we make out of this itself?
The only thing historic about it is that that's the first time that the mugshot has been taken, but this is not the first time he's been charged with some conspiracy or with some crime. I think there are about 4 or so court appearances. This is the fourth one that has occurred. But I think the significance of this one, as you've indicated, is that now we have a mugshot of the former President Donald Trump out there. I think the significance, if you look at the Constitution of America, the Constitution of America suggests that if you've been involved in inciting or insurrection, then you're disqualified from contesting for office. But having said that, you have to have been convicted. Trump has not been convicted of anything. And if you remember, it was impeached twice by the United States House of Representatives, but he was never removed from office. So he was impeached, but was never removed. I think a lot of people will be confused because you have somebody who's been charged a number of times, though not convicted, and yet he still possibly could be the next president again of the United States. I think people will be confused. But it's the nature of the United States that people judge innocent unto proven guilty from that point of view. So we'll see what will happen. But what is clear is that if he is convicted, he will not be able to contest again. So I think it will run its course. It's taken a long time for many people, but it's going to run its course. And if indeed it is guilty, then of course, as I said, he will be disqualified from running for office. So it's quite convoluted, but at least the rule of law still applies, even though some people will be saying that Trump should not even be contested with all these charges around him. Well, it's similar to what happens in Nigeria. It tells you that there's not much difference between Nigeria and the United States. Not much difference. They might be a bit more sophisticated. By the end of it, we are all the same, really.
All right, don't forget you can link up with us on Facebook at 32FM and 949 Ibadan on Facebook. And we have a couple of comments from Okedere Rabatunde. Says, congratulations to Toby Amusho. You can't win all the time. Another opportunity will come her way. Congratulations. Also, we have Omotayo Oluwarotimi on Obamiro saying, Nigerians should stop discussing about the university certification of President Tinubu at this time. Right now, they should be discussing about how to improve economy and how they could work very hard. All the discussions about certification from Chicago should have been done during the campaigning for votes from the voters. Thank you very much.
All right, we also have this from Raji Hafiz Abidemi on Facebook. He says, good morning, GBOLABO&SUMBO, an analyst in the studio. On the issue of unemployment rates in Nigeria, who is fooling who? How many people federal government employed? And that's a question mark. And on the issue of palliatives, if truly federal government have done the needful, and I think the governors in each state should not make their citizens suffer more. God bless Nigeria. And of course, we have this one from Prince Bomi Adefusi. Says, good morning to you, my dear Olusumbo and Bolabo. Nigeria's economy is in crisis, but President Bola Tinubu think that giving 5 billion naira loans as palliative to the state government or putting end to hardship citizens are battling with. Why can't the federal government better economy by fixing the refineries and diversifying, investing so much in agriculture? All right, that is from Akpata. We have this one too from Okediro Babatunde on Facebook. In Nigeria, anything goes. Once you have powerful men in power under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have university student in government as member of Paracetal and now core member as a minister. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration is proving a point of competency.
Still from Facebook, we have Omotayo Arutimi saying the jackpot syndrome is not necessarily the best option for Nigerians. Even Prime Minister said there are more than 150,000 new openings for jobs in the NHS. The UK is extremely organized. What everyone living in Nigeria needs to do is do their own proper research, as Prof has said. Thank you very much for your contribution.
All right, Professor Oluwajeruku is with us, but your numbers are still 070-55,000. 949 or 08097,949. And Prof, I want us to also look at this. Kano government to spend 854 million naira on mass wedding, 700 million naira on state university student fees. Now we see the priority. I don't know if this is culture shock for us, because for them marriage is the in thing. And now we're talking about education and how much more the girl child could be educated and of course embrace what appears to be STEM, that's mathematics and the new era of technology. Now we still have a state talking about wedding and spending amount of money. Some people in the West will call it frivolity. Now, what do we call this?
Well, to me, I think the priority of any government must be the welfare, the education, the security. And I think the societies that have triumphed, the societies that have advanced are those that have invested in education. I think it is not the business of government to be investing in marriages, weddings, or so on. I think that's not the purport, that's not the import of the Constitution. It's a perversion of the Constitution. I think that kind of money will be better spent if it's invested in people's education or other welfare initiatives, but not personal marriage, not marriage. That's something personal. If you're not able to get married, then you don't get married. And I can understand why the government wants to do it, because they don't want immorality in society. But I think immorality is left for the mosques and it's left for the churches to curtail, from that point of view. There must be more innovative ways in which the government can encourage lack of immorality. If there are more jobs available, if education is accessible, then of course there will be less immorality in society. So I don't agree with that amount they are spending. I think it's an amount that could be better spent on education, and I call it, in my view, some will say it's a misplacement of priorities.
All right, Prof. We'll take this one from Facebook from Okediran Babatunde says, Bola Tinubu already assured us that the fuel price will not go up again beyond the current price. Could that be a subtle way of introducing or paying subsidy to, I think it should be subsidy to marketers? Well, we wait and see. All right, Prof, as part of your pattern shot, do you want to react to this?
Yeah, is it the issue of the palliatives or the issue
And
of
the subsidy here, the subsidy.
Well, the problem we have with the subsidy now is that we are exposed. What do I mean we are exposed? When our currency weakens, when the crude oil price goes up in the world, it affects our own price here. So we're exposed. The government cannot dictate. So anytime the government dictates, you know for sure that that means that there's some level of subsidy. So I suspect there's still some level of subsidy going on. And I suspect the government, for political reasons, will not allow the price to exceed what is already exceeded, because we are in real economic trouble, at least the people concerned, the masses of Nigeria.
All right, we must say a big thank you to Professor Oluwajeruku for doing this with us, and to all our viewers and our socials and those who called in and monitored in radio. We'll say a big thank you to you too. My name is GBOLABO, famous call.
I am GBOLABO&SUMBO Yusuf. Good morning.